I still remember December 8, 2002, the day Super Typhoon Pongsang-Hwa hit Guam. Living in an island paradise has its perks, but it doesn't come risk-free. That year alone, Guam experienced 5 typhoons, but Super Typhoon Pongsang-Hwa was the worst. This powerful storm with wind gusts of 173 miles per hour destroyed 1,300 homes and many other buildings and left us without power for weeks. Thankfully, there were very few casualties, but the typhoon took a toll on the island, causing over $900 million worth of damage. My family didn't have electricity or running water for a week. We had to bathe by the ocean in an open beachside shower. We couldn't buy gasoline for 10 days. Our central air conditioning unit was ripped off of our roof, leaving us without air conditioning for over a month. It was a total disruption of our lives. But as I saw other areas of the island, I knew my family was fortunate. Many homes had been destroyed. Rubble lay in the streets. Power lines were down. This typhoon created a massive mess on an otherwise beautiful island. Diabetes is like a typhoon. It sweeps through the body, wreaking havoc everywhere it goes. In this section, we'll look at 5 factors that combine to create the diabetes storm surge. These are insulin resistance, glycosylation, inflammation, high blood pressure, and atherosclerosis. These 5 factors are like the strong winds and the heavy rains of the diabetes typhoon. But don't worry, there's good news. You can take action to halt them in their tracks. In a moment, we'll take a closer look at each one of these factors. But first, we need to understand what good health weather looks like. In order to identify a storm, we need to have something to compare it to. Good weather on Guam means flip-flops, sunny days at the beach, and a light ocean breeze. But inside the body, good health weather means good circulation. That's right. If I had to condense all the health information I want to share with you into just one sentence, it would be this: perfect health depends on perfect circulation. Chances are you don't think about circulation very much. The circulatory system is part of the autonomic nervous system, which simply means that it's involuntary. Your heart beats about 100,000 times per day without even a conscious thought on your part. It sends blood to your lungs to pick up oxygen and then pumps the oxygen-rich blood into your arteries, which carry it to your body. Your veins then bring oxygen-poor blood back to the heart, and the cycle continues. This life-sustaining system is designed to supply your organs, tissues, and cells with the oxygen, nutrients, and water they need to survive and to function. Every other system in your body, the digestive system, the endocrine system, the skeletal system, all of them depend on the circulatory system to function properly. Perfect health depends on perfect circulation. Diabetes damages the body by attacking the circulatory system. Often we think of diabetes complications in a compartmentalized way. Diabetes might cause blindness, or it might damage the kidneys, or it might result in a heart attack or sexual dysfunction. These are very different kinds of problems, affecting different parts of the body. Yet all of these complications share an important similarity. They are all caused by damage to the circulatory system. The 5 factors that cause the diabetes storm do so by attacking the circulatory system. Let's examine those factors now. Insulin resistance. In the Diabetes 101 video, we learned how the body regulates blood sugars. The food you eat breaks down into sugar called glucose, which enters your bloodstream. Glucose is the body's primary fuel source. You can't live without it. But in order for the glucose to work, it needs to get inside your cells. The cell membrane won't allow glucose to enter by itself. It needs the help of insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. Insulin acts as a key to unlock the cell membrane, allowing the glucose to enter. Once the glucose enters the cells, the blood sugar goes down. But if the glucose can't get inside the cells, the blood sugar goes up. People with type 1 diabetes are unable to produce insulin, so they must take insulin injections in order to control their blood sugars. But the majority of those with type 2 diabetes and prediabetes produce plenty of insulin. In fact, many of them produce significantly more insulin than normal, yet their blood sugars are still high. What's the problem? Why can't the insulin unlock the cells to allow the glucose to enter? The problem is insulin resistance. The cells don't want to allow glucose in, so they make it very difficult for insulin to unlock them. These cells are fat and sassy. They have all the energy they need, and they don't want to accept any more glucose. Thank you very much. Because the glucose can't enter the cells, it builds up in the bloodstream, causing high blood sugar. When the pancreas detects this, it responds by secreting more insulin to try to force the glucose into the cells. The more resistant the cells become, the more insulin the pancreas releases. This is called hyperinsulinemia. Combined with insulin resistance, it can result in a dangerous roller coaster of abnormal blood sugars, sometimes too high and sometimes too low. Many diabetics have hyperinsulinemia for years, or even decades. The poor pancreas makes a desperate effort to control the blood sugars. The scary thing is that someone in this stage could appear to have healthy blood sugars and the problem could go undetected. That's why I recommend also testing insulin levels. We'll discuss testing more in a future section. Unfortunately, the pancreas eventually becomes fatigued and even damaged from all this extra stress. When this occurs, insulin production dramatically decreases and blood sugars shoot up. This is often the point when most people first realize they have a problem. This is very unfortunate because by this time, the disease is well progressed. The pancreas is damaged and the blood sugars are out of control. The second diabetes storm factor is glycosylation. Insulin resistance causes high blood sugars, and high blood sugars cause tissue damage. This is called glycosylation. Glucose is sticky. When it builds up in the bloodstream and circulates throughout the body, it attaches itself to proteins on all different kinds of cells and tissues. It causes a glazy, sticky buildup throughout the body and can damage multiple organs, including the eyes, the nerves, kidneys, blood vessels, and heart. Glycosylation also makes cholesterol more sticky, which increases plaque buildup in the arteries, impairs circulation, and increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. Glycosylation can also activate a chronic inflammatory response. Let's take a closer look at inflammation and how it relates to diabetes. Inflammation. Inflammation is one of the most overlooked factors in the development of diabetes, heart disease, and many other health problems. There are two types of inflammation. Acute inflammation occurs when your body responds to injury or invasion by activating your immune cells to protect you. For example, if you get cut and bacteria enters your bloodstream, your body will activate an inflammatory response to fight the bacteria and prevent an infection. White blood cells will rush to the scene to destroy the bug and save the day. This is a natural and healthy response. But chronic inflammation is a different story. Chronic inflammation occurs when the body is perpetually producing an inflammatory response while trying to clean up something that won't go away. In an attempt to protect the body, chronic inflammation actually damages the body. Chronic inflammation can be caused by toxins, junk food, hidden low-grade infections, and damaged tissues or cells. Glycosylation from high blood sugars almost always results in an inflammatory response. Inflammation significantly increases the risk for many serious diseases, such as diabetes, heart disease, stroke, cancer, Alzheimer's. It promotes sticky plaque buildup in the arteries and is a serious threat to cardiovascular health. High blood pressure. 1/3 of US adults suffer from high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. But did you know that diabetics are twice as likely to have high blood pressure as non-diabetics? Blood pressure is a measure of the force the heart has to exert to circulate blood throughout the body. A high blood pressure level indicates that the heart is working extra hard to do its job. High blood pressure can cause a variety of complications, including kidney disease, arterial narrowing, damage to the arteries, and increased risk for heart disease and stroke. According to Dr. Gerald Reaven, a well-respected endocrinologist and professor emeritus from Stanford University School of Medicine, up to half of high blood pressure cases are caused by insulin resistance. Insulin has other functions besides unlocking cells for glucose storage. It also acts as a vasoconstrictor. High levels of insulin caused by hyperinsulinemia can squeeze the arteries tight, which raises blood pressure and damages circulation. Atherosclerosis is hardening or narrowing of the arteries. This dangerous condition occurs when plaque, sticky cholesterol, and other substances infiltrate the artery wall. This process damages circulation. If the plaque ruptures, a thrombus or clot can form, causing a heart attack or stroke. Diabetes promotes atherosclerosis in multiple ways, including glycosylation, inflammation, and high blood pressure. Diabetes is usually accompanied by high cholesterol and high blood fats, which further contribute to this problem. To make matters worse, diabetes decreases the production of nitric oxide, a chemical that protects arterial walls. Without enough nitric oxide, the arteries become much more susceptible to dangerous plaque buildup. And that, my friend, is the diabetes storm in a nutshell. These 5 factors combine to produce circulatory damage and a host of related complications. This is sobering information, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Yes, diabetes is serious, but there is hope, just like there was hope for Guam. In the weeks and months after Super Typhoon Pongsonhwa, I saw the island make a strong recovery. It didn't happen all at once, but I noticed improvements one day at a time. The water came back on, then the electricity, the rubble was cleared, the gas stations reopened, aid poured in, homes and lives were rebuilt. Guam returned to life as usual. It's also possible to clean up the diabetes storm inside your body. The exciting news is that simple lifestyle strategies like exercise and nutrition can work wonders to battle all the diabetes storm factors. It won't happen all at once, but day by day, as you make good health decisions, you will begin to see and feel a tremendous difference. This is encouraging news. No matter how messy your health storm may seem, there's hope for recovery and restoration.